Hey guys, welcome. We're just waiting for a few people to hop up in the chat, in the Zoom. Just hold on tight. Perfect. Thank you for everyone that's joined, that was on time. It looks like some people are running behind tonight, but I just wanted to pop in here, show my face. Just in case you guys, the early birds that were on time, have questions, you're able to ask them now. That way you guys can get your questions answered before hopefully everyone starts coming in. We did change the time to 8 p.m. So that's kind of thrown everybody off because they may still think that it's at 1:30 every Wednesday. It's actually at 8 p.m. every Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. Let's say hi, David. Hi, Humberto. Welcome.
Hello.
Ooh, how are you guys doing tonight? Like, where are we at? Like, how have you guys been enjoying school? Let me see. 19. Because for the purpose of this video too, I'm just gonna start going, answering some people's questions that they had within the Facebook group. Because for those who are not in the Facebook group, I just wanted to give them a few questions that were posted that need to be answered. That way, they can get the answer they're looking for. Again, because this is recorded, it's a recording class, I'm just gonna go over a few questions that were posted. And if you guys have any questions during that time, feel free to unmute yourself or to put your video on and hop on in. Let me see. So the very first question that we had on Facebook that I was going to address was Latia Landing. So it looks like she had a question regarding the inquiries. She had inquiries on Equifax that came back verified. She was asking what to do next. And that she was looking through her saved PDFs, but she couldn't find anything. Now, you guys know if you have the Magic Eraser course, I'm gonna go back to mine. And if this doesn't resonate with you guys at all, completely fine. But again, this is just for the people who had questions and then they needed their questions answered. Let's see. I wanted to share my screen. Okay, perfect. So I'm sure you guys are able to see my screen. So this is in the Magic Eraser course. I don't know if Dom and Mikhail are still selling this separately. I don't know if that's the thing. I'm gonna have to verify. Analia. So they have a separate guide. This is my back office of the products that they actually offer and that I've purchased. So they actually have a specific course in here called the 72-hour inquiry removal guide. If whatever was within the Magic Eraser course did not work for you, there's so many different ways you could go about this. So if you had called directly to the fraud department for Equifax, and so basically once you hop on the phone, you want to get transferred over to the fraud department. Once you get over to the fraud department, you want to hop on the call and say, hey, listen, I have unauthorized inquiries that I would like to get disputed over the phone today. Is that something you could assist me with? Because this is on my credit report. And again, they were not authorized by me. At that point, they're going to ask you what was the name of the hard inquiry and the date, if they are nice. So sometimes you get representatives that are not as nice and they will not help you. So at that point, you would just hang up and call back again. But that has worked really well with me, like in the past with family members, friends. At that point, I don't dispute it that way. But that is the fastest way that I've went through. And then again, there's also in this section, a bonus video breakdown and the 72-hour inquiry removal guide phone script. So they actually included a phone script within the 72-hour removal, and they include the guide right here. So in this ebook, they will show you exactly how to get unauthorized inquiries removed quickly. And then also, if you haven't updated your personal information, so if you're having different variations of your name or old addresses on your credit report, that's something you want to handle. Because they may verify those inquiries that way as well. But it's been pretty easy with the hard inquiries. So basically, as you see here, you notice unauthorized inquiries on your report. You notice someone applied for something in your name. And that's what you would say as a script over to them. If that does not work, at that point, that's when you would literally, I think at the bottom here, this is the phone script. Let me keep scrolling down here. You would be surprised how many people have a hard time with hard inquiries. Let's see. I thought they had a letter template in here, but if not, that's cool. So basically, you would just go back to ChatGPT and ask it to draft you a letter addressing the credit reporting agencies, whether it's Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, letting them know this is your second attempt to address this identity theft hard inquiry and that they are required by law to remove and delete this off your credit report. So that's how I would attack that as of right now. Now, we also had another question from someone within the Facebook group that's not a part of school. Their name is Jay Rodriguez. Sorry, butchered guys. Jay Rodriguez. They stated they disputed information with inaccuracies with all three, and Experian sent a letter and told them that the info was verified, but there was no proof that, how the proof that they used to verify this information. So they were requesting if there's a second round template that they could use for some reason that they can't find it within the course. So again, you guys, Dom and Mikkel offer the outline of how you should handle these disputes, but it's up to you to take that information or that specific law that they're breaking, and you should be able to decipher how you're going to outline your next letter. So they're not going to have all of that within the course. You're going to have to take the time to learn your rights. That is what a lot of people are missing. And a lot of times they're lazy because they don't want to go through the course material. And sometimes they'll just ask the question and the answer is right within the course. Okay. But this is very important to know. So I actually posted this, a letter template that I just created off the bat because a member in school, and I think she's in here today, Monique.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Mhm.
Perfect. So
And I'm
Monique,
not using that exact template. I'm going to change it around.
good. You see, that's initiative.
Mhm.
But sometimes you need that outline. But
Yeah.
that's basically what you take. That's basically what you take from that letter template, and you just make it your own. And you get a lot more luck with that than you guys sticking laws within that letter that you have no idea what that law means. So you might be stalling your own deletions by adding laws that you don't even know what means or pertaining to your current situation. That's why it's important to study up these laws. So yes, I created a dispute letter template just based off the basic information that Monique did verify. But a lot of people I noticed have that question. What do they do when an account comes back verified? They're like, listen, I ended up submitting another dispute. The dispute may have been factually a dispute. Is that what you're going to respond once they say that they verified information and they're like, okay, whatever, like, let's just send in a factual dispute letter? No, that's not how you're supposed to move forward with the dispute. You need to read that letter that they're responding back to you, because that lets you know how you want to move forward with the route of the kind of disputing you want to move forward with. So you're just going to change up the words within your letter. So if an account was verified, I know we always say, hey, listen, you need to ask them how that account was verified, which means who did they talk to? I want to know, who did you talk to personally on the phone? On what date? What number did you call? What did you guys talk about? What did they provide for proof, for documentation? You want to be your own investigator because no one's going to do that for you. A lot of times they say they verified the information, and they did not do a reasonable investigation, which is a right of yours. So at that point in time, I'm also going to share my screen again while I pull this letter up. Boop. There we go, guys. So I kind of just took the basic information that Monique had at the time and just try to help her out with like an outline of something that she could work with, so that way she can send something back to the credit reporting agencies, because she had already submitted her disputes previously. They just keep coming back verified. So you want to let them know that, like, I am writing to formally dispute the validity of this account that has been verified by TransUnion on my credit report. Despite my repeated attempts, because we're going to put that in there, despite my repeated attempts to challenge the accuracy of this information, TransUnion has consistently upheld the verification of this account without providing sufficient evidence. Okay, you want to call them out on what they're doing, because they can't just say it's verified and not provide you any proof because that's not valid. You're hurting my reputation and I cannot move forward with obtaining any line of credit. I can't get a good car. I may not get approved for an apartment. There's just a lot going on. What if I have kids? What if I'm a single mom? Like, this is tremendously affecting me. So I need you to let me know. Listen, I need you to let me know. What do you have to verify this? Okay. And the specific law that is referring to the verification or the procedures that the credit reporting agencies have to follow is 15 US Code 1681, Section Section 5A. So once we get there, it literally explains to you what the procedures are that they have to follow. They have to provide that documentation to you. They have to let you know something. They can't just verify an account, right? Also within the letter, as a consumer, I am entitled to a clear and thorough documentation regarding the verification procedure to ensure the accuracy of the information on my credit report. So if you're not able to provide any validation or, proof, how is that accurate? How do I not know that you're adding more negative information that doesn't belong to me because you can't even back it up? So make it make sense, right? You need to demand them that they rectify that situation, and then you kind of give them a time frame, a reasonable time frame of when they should be able to get back to you or give you a result. So within this specific letter, I kind of just put 10 days. Sometimes I put 4, depending on the situation. If it was identity theft, I would just put 4. I would want them to rectify the situation within 10 days of receiving this notice. This entails providing me with the requested information regarding the verification process for the disputed account. Failure to comply with this request within the specified time frame will result in further action being taken. So you want to let them know that you're serious because you're tired of getting accounts verified and then you're going to go about your day, and then I'm just going to be forgotten along with thousands of other consumers that I have been trying to repair their credit. You don't want to be that number. So you're letting them know, like, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to let you know I'm going to take some actions. Okay. And I'm going to let you know about it. So that way, hopefully we can get to a resolution. We can get this rectified. Okay. But this is not the only letter template you could use. I literally typed into ChatGPT like my key points. I knew the law that I was going to utilize. I asked ChatGPT, please create me a dispute letter. What the heck did I put? I said, please create me a dispute letter utilizing 15 US Code 1681 I, Section 5A, regarding an account XY. I would put the specific account within ChatGPT if that was you, regarding Bank of America that I have disputed multiple times with TransUnion, and I have already supplied the documentation over and over again. So let ChatGPT know the whole story so that way they can adequately put it within a dispute letter and you kind of just edit it, If it doesn't come back right on the letter, like yourself, if you don't know how to create the letter, always refer back to ChatGPT so that way they can correct that for you. Hopefully that made sense. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting to the questions here. I know you're not supposed to remove an inquiry for accounts with open cards, but would there be any negative? If I removed a hard inquiry for a personal loan I've already accepted? I mean, it's a 50-50, Terrell. So I personally, I'm a little scary. I rather not dispute any hard inquiries tied to open accounts because I like my high limit credit card, or I like the fact that I ended up getting a loan. Okay. Maybe credit cards are different than loans because credit cards, they expect their money back. They're not going to just take the card back and be like, hey, give me back my 25K, However, loans is a little bit different. They helped you out and they're just expecting for that repayment to be made back. So I think hard inquiries are safe to say you can go ahead and dispute them. But I just personally, that's my rule of thumb. Like, I don't dispute any hard inquiries tied to any open accounts, but that's personally me. I've seen people and I've heard people do it themselves where they disputed those open hard inquiries and there was no like repercussions afterwards. But again, you're just taking that chance for something to come up, and I'd rather just save my energy for something else other than that hard inquiry. Yes, Humberto, you can unmute.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, everything good. I have a question. I work in my wife's credit. basically she have a charge off account, but
Mm-hmm.
this account is off in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But still in the credit report open. I dispute this a few times to tell them, hey, this is wrong information. I don't know if legal to still open or need to stay close account when it's charged off.
Yeah, so it definitely needs to be, it's not an open account because it's a charge off. At that point, it's like the debt was already sold to a third party. So they are doing the same thing as a debt collector. They're just trying to get their coins. So it should not be reporting as an open account. A lot of times they will do that. So I would refer that as an inaccuracy. But if you said you already disputed it before.
Yeah, I disputed before. I disputed with the FTC,
Mhm.
but still there. It says this information is verified.
Mhm.
Basically, the company sent it to us letters to like more information about the identity theft, like a need
So
to
it's almost
sign
like,
document or something like that.
yeah, so that's like a stall letter. Like they'll come back to you and say, hey, like you need to fill out this specific identity theft report, which is not required. Basically, you would just have to dispute it again. But when I say dispute it again, I don't mean go ahead and do another FTC report or send in like another factual dispute. What I would need you to do is exactly what we just went over with verified accounts. Like, how did you, like, you would create another dispute letter, no FTC because you already submitted that. So you're gonna like respond back to them. You're gonna keep this going until they give you an answer or delete it. So you're gonna follow up with them and be like, how did you verify it? Like you're gonna request it from them. You want to create that letter, excuse me. And then also input the fact that it's inaccurate information. And your right as a consumer is for them to provide accurate information on your credit report. So if it's not accurate and it's not verified, they're entitled to remove and delete that. So I would literally like, you have to let them know because they act stupid. They act like they don't know what the policies are or the rules. They just try to give the consumer a hard time so that way they don't end up getting things removed and just kind of give up and quit. But I feel like you've been doing really well. I know you have a good understanding on credit. You love to do it, I peep. But I know you got this.
Yeah, I'm just only share information with all the people here. I sent the bankruptcy letter today, but I write it with my hands.
Mhm.
Basically, I send a certified mail today and see what's going on. Is there something changed? I sent so many documents like a LexisNexis letters to say is this bankruptcy is unverified and deleted in the account and see what happened. And the other information I wanted to share is increase. I delete maybe 40 between
Wow.
me and my wife, maybe 50.
Wow.
Open account and close account and no account. Nothing happened with the open account, but I try and see what's going on and see what happened because I don't care if it's the bank close account because it's $1,000 to credit card or $300 to credit card. I don't matter if it's closed because it's so,
Mhm.
credit one, credit one bank.
Mhm.
This bank is so bad. It don't matter for me if it's closed or open, but just I wanted to tell you and the other guys here ask about the increase. I submit maybe 50, 40 in my credit report on my wife, and everything is fine. I have 0 right now. Open
Good
and
for you.
close account and no account.
Perfect. And just for everyone within the class right now, did you utilize the FTC method? So when you disputed the hard inquiries, which route did you go?
Yeah, I dispute with the FTC and CFPB.
Perfect.
I submit these all documents and that's it. Then 4 days I delete the account. And my wife I got the new truck today, not today, 15 days ago, like a 50K Chevrolet Silverado. The bank approved for 54K. And her credit is so bad. in October. Right
Wait,
now,
so
you're
you're
still
approved
working on it.
for a credit card?
No, for auto loan,
Okay, and what bank was
54K.
that?
It's a credit union. It's a second credit union or something like that. I don't know the name. But
Like
it's
a
a
small
credit
credit
union.
union,
But
perfect.
you know, in October, she have a bad, really bad credit. You has a 578 or something like that. But in Equifax right now, she have 688. I got approved the credit card loan.
And did she also like build up the relationship with them? Or did she just go ahead and
No,
go?
no, just to go ahead and because Capital One pre-approved for her for 44K.
Mhm.
We go there to see if I can get that car, but I like this truck. We submitted with this bank and the bank is approved. You know,
Oh, wow.
just let her know, still working on the credit, but we got the new car.
Perfect. Congratulations, guys. That's
Thank you,
always
thank you.
exciting, especially when you're like just on the verge of like basic credit and you know that after working on it for so long, you're able to get approved for such a high limit for an auto loan. So that's a big milestone.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing, Humberto. I know that's going to be helpful to everyone with this class and the people who watch the recording. So if anything, everybody can ask Humberto when they watch this video, what happened with those heart inquiries.
yeah.
Let me see. And I know, Monique, you had a question?
Yeah. So I have a student loan through Navient. I did a normal dispute, I think, or may have been Metro 2, but so I have two separate loans. They're listed separately. Experian deleted one of them, but did not delete the other one. So I'm looking at it today to look at the payment status, and it was charged off in September 2022. They are reporting it as charged off up until last month. Isn't that some type of inaccuracy? Like you can't do that, right?
With the payment status, as in like
Yeah.
it reporting as a charge off?
Yep, every month since September 2022.
Correct. So that can't remember at the top of my head which law that was
I
pertaining to
know.
that is an inaccuracy. If I come across it or if I'm able to find it.
Okay.
But a lot of times too, even doing the dispute letters, like pointing that out like as a normal
Mhm.
human being without the laws, a lot of the time that's very
Mhm.
effective. So if you literally just use your own words, listen, like you guys are reporting this as a charge off every single month on my payment history, it's charged off. So why are you reporting, inaccurate information? That's
Mhm.
inaccurate. So you can go about
Yeah.
it that way too.
I tried to call and the guy was like, "Oh, it's going to be on your record to 2029." I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, a lot of times the reps don't know what they're talking about. I just hung up on them. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'll send you later. Like,
Yes, they're not gonna
because
really
you
tell
know what you're talking about.
because they're not
So,
gonna tell you or help you because at the end of the day they get paid
yeah.
for reporting these negative accounts, so they're really not on your side. So their
Okay.
best bet is really not to utilize them when it comes down because they're not gonna dispute a lot of the times like anything major for you over the phone. It is just
Yeah.
better off for you to just dispute it on the CFPB.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Humberto, I just want to make sure that you still don't have any questions because I still see your hand up, but I wasn't sure if it ever was put down.
Oh no, sorry. Let
No,
me.
you're fine. Okay, and let's see. And I wanted to show you guys something because I've noticed that a lot of people, and then this is within the Magic Eraser course too. But I wanted to clarify and really like highlight. When you get a stall letter, I'm gonna just share my screen super quickly. I screenshotted this so you guys can see it. When you guys, hopefully you guys can, goodness sake, let me move y'all over. I'm gonna make this bigger. Okay, so when you guys get a stall letter, just like this one, right? Whether it's from Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. I skip all of this. What we're gonna focus on is the 3 bullet points right here. A lot of the times they're gonna send this statement right here because within the law, they're gonna say that the credit reporting agencies may decline your reason to block information due to identity theft if the credit reporting agencies think that the request to block or information was based on material misinterpretation, you have agreed in writing that the information was blocked in error, and you knowingly obtained or should have known that you have obtained possession of goods, services, or monies as a result of the blocked transactions or transaction. And now it states that it within the law, okay, within Cornell law. There's a section specifically going over this. Again, I will have to look for it with you guys and post it in school. But this is what this is what you want to avoid, so that way you don't get that stall letter. You want to make sure, guys, that you're including this in your dispute letter, especially if it's identity theft. So that way they can't come back with the stall letter and say, listen, we think that that request was made in block or blocked in error, or we think that you agreed in writing that the information was blocked in error. Like, you're already one step ahead of them. So you can't say that this information, like, we're gonna decline your dispute and not remove this due to XYZ, because you already stated in your letter that that's not the case. So now they got no choice but to really investigate, or if they verified, they're wrong in that aspect too, because again, that's where it comes back to, how did you verify this information? Hopefully that makes sense. But that's very important, because a lot of the time these dispute letters, the stall letters, have this specific wording and statement in it, almost in every other one. So I really wanted to highlight that for you guys as well. Did anyone else have any questions at all? It looks
I
like,
have a question.
uh-huh.
Recently started using Dispute Fox, and I don't know if you have any experience with Metro 2, but they're doing Metro 2 within Dispute Fox. Is that good enough, or do you think I should get the whole Metro 2 system and do it separately?
To be honest, I have not utilized Metro 2 on Dispute Fox. And any Metro 2 method I have used has been like on a separate platform. Not saying that Dispute Fox is not capable or it's not accurate. I would definitely test it out to see what kind of results you would get with Dispute Fox. And then also send in Metro 2 with possibly another platform, if you are able to financially do that, because there's going to be 2 fees for that. But that would be the route I would go.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just for and Kathy also, for Metro 2, if I didn't mention it, I was using Prodigy Surge at the time. I rarely do Metro 2 now. I mean, it's not my preference, but that is the platform that I was using for Metro 2. Let's see. All right, Terrell, you also had a question?
Yeah. Am I allowed to do on mute?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you for taking my question. So I have an issue going on right now with child support on my credit, and disclaimer, I'm active father, not a deadbeat. But I guess just the way that everything lines up with my child support case, because it's actually going through 3 different states. It was filed out of Florida. I'm a resident of Georgia. The kids live in Virginia. So there's 3 different states that have their hands in the pot, and they don't all talk to each other. So occasionally I'll get reports on my credit report that I'm late because this state didn't talk to that state. So now I have late showing up on my credit under child support. So like, what would be and I have proof and documentation and stuff, like years worth of pay stubs to prove that I paid during this, but how could I go about getting that removed altogether? Because I don't want it to then turn into a collection or something like that, because it's showing so many lates or defaults or whatever stuff it is due to their system.
For sure. So if you were gonna go the route, let's say like you weren't removing the account altogether, the proof and documentation that you do have, I would submit it on the CFPB and also include that within your dispute letter. No FTC. And I would literally point out everything that was just stated and specific dates, amounts, and then attach a copy of your credit report that is showing those late payments, and be able to include it within that attachment where you upload documents on the CFPB. That way they can see that it's reporting as a late payment on XYZ date, but you're also providing the proof and documentation that it was actually paid, so it was never late. So if that was the route you're gonna go, then that's how I would handle that situation. Now, if you wanted to go the route with deleting the account altogether and it's an open account, obviously, have you already started that disputing process, or you're just trying to figure out which route to go?
So I was going through a credit repair company for a while, but my contract with them is about to end, so I'm about to start taking this on myself. So I know that come I think like May 1, I'll be on my own doing this. So I just wanted to know which kind of guidance and stuff I had. So I don't even know exactly what they've done on their end for it. I just know it hasn't come off yet. So I guess like for my last like little like out call and stuff with them, I can find out what methods and stuff they did use. That way I can either continue on or do something different. But yeah, I'm just kind of stuck in the wind at this point.
No worries. So if you definitely want, again, to dispute the whole account altogether, I would go the identity theft route with the FTC report. So I would create that FTC and then the dispute letter and then upload both of those onto the CFPB. Now, did you have a question real quick?
No.
Okay. So now when it comes down to like Cornell law, there's going to be specific laws that you can include in there if that is how you want to outline your letter. But from what I know and from the experience that I've seen, that sometimes it's better off to leave out those Cornell laws and just like create a specific letter like in regular consumer words. Okay, but if you were to include those laws, there's again a cheat sheet that I ended up creating. This is something I posted in school. It was a cheat sheet for the laws pertaining to each specific account that I'm disputing. So if it's a student loan, if it's identity theft. So like I kind of could create a cheat sheet. I did post it in school again, but I didn't update it. So this is up to you guys to update that PDF. I can throw in some child support laws that you're able to utilize within your dispute letter, but I highly suggest that you look into them and study up on them to see how you can like leverage it within your letter because you want it to make sense. So let me see if I can pull this up for you. Let me see. Privacy. Shall be completely delete.
And I'm sorry, would there be any negative to deleting the bankruptcy on my I'm not bankruptcy, a child support thing on my file? I know I'm still obligated to pay it, but like would that have anything? And I think it's actually closed at this point.
Okay, so that would be even easier when they're closed. So it's harder to do it when it's open, but it is you're able to, it's not going to be any negative on you because there's people that remove open accounts. That doesn't mean that you still don't owe it, but because they're still going to want their money at the end of the day. It's just not affecting you when you happen to go apply to these financial institutions and they're seeing like maybe like your debt to income ratio or what you owe. That's really what it comes down to if you don't want other financial institutions to be able to see that you're actually paying child support.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Disclosure of institution privacy. So I'm going to put this in here because you can utilize this one. Yeah, it's a little also I put it in the chat. 15 U.S. Code 6803, disclosure of institution privacy policy, protecting the non-public and personal information of consumers. So, at the end of the day, anything on our credit report, you need to have my permission to be able to report on my credit report. The fact that I didn't give you that written permission, it should not be on there. So I would go the FTC route first, say that's identity theft, that account does not belong to you, especially if it's a closed account. If that does not work, again, depending on what they end up coming back with the response, let's say they verify that information, that's where, if I don't know if you were here in the beginning of the call, but that's where you would request, like, how did you verify this information? If they come back with some type of bullshit of a story, let's get straight to the point. At that point is where I would start throwing consumer law in there. Like, listen, I have rights. You can't report my personal information without my consent. And those would be the laws that I would include in the dispute letter. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Corey, you had a question?
Yes. So right now my experience has been due to a repossession. So the repossession was through Westlake Financial. I'm not sure if you ever heard of them, but it was for a repossessed vehicle. I was able to get it removed from Experian and Equifax over the last, I'm gonna say 4, 5 months, even maybe 5 months. TransUnion has been consistently saying verified is accurate. So I wanted to know what different strategies should I use? Everything I've been doing has been directly through the CFPB. So I do the FTC report and then I do everything through the CFPB. So I wanted to know if there's any other strategy to get this verified as accurate Westlake Financial removed off of TransUnion, because that's literally the only negative account that's still reporting under that bureau.
So is it, because I've never had, so with the repo, so is that with the third party or is that still like reporting under the original creditor?
So it's not with a third party collection company. They did get that on there, but that came off fairly easy. The moment like that came off like a week after it popped on. But it is a closed account with the original creditor. It's a closed account, but it's still showing with the original creditor, Westlake Financial.
Okay, so in that case, because it's with the original creditor and obviously they have documentation, sometimes they do give you a hard time. Analia, I want you to take that to your room. Sorry, guys. Take it to your room. So a lot of the times it's a little harder to go the FTC route when it's with the original creditor because they're a lot more harder to dispute with than the third party or the credit reporting agency.
Okay.
So I would kind of have you been disputing with the credit reporting agencies directly or with the original creditor directly?
The credit reporting agencies directly. So every dispute I've done, I've always created the
Okay.
FTC report and then went through the CFPB.
Okay, and at that point, when they verify, because again, it kind of refers back to that verified account template that I shared earlier. I wasn't sure if that you're within the class, but did you respond to their letter when they verified that account? Like, did you request like the proof of documentation that verified that account? Did they supply
No,
anything?
I never made any requests. I just stay consistent with the same dispute, just thinking like, okay, it'll fall off because everything else fell off. But I've never requested like for them to give me any proof.
Okay, so yeah, I think you might have came in a little late, but I did go over that in the beginning of the class where it's very important for you to actually follow up with the response that the credit reporting agencies are responding back to you, because that's the route that you don't want to go. You're going to have a lot of a difficult time trying to get this removed if you're just submitting the same dispute, because you're going to get the same response. You want to actually request, you want to actually request to them, what did you guys use? Where's the proof and documentation when it came back? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just share my screen real quick. We're going to go back to here because I have ChatGPT still on. Yeah, you're going to want to request that information because you are entitled to know exactly what they're using to verify that information. So if you're in school here, this is the letter template for accounts that were verified and not deleted. So I created like this short template here. Go sit. Where I'm requesting that validity, like I'm requesting them to verify that information under 15 U.S. Code 1681I, Section 5A, where you have the right to request that detailed information. If they don't provide that to you, then they are mandated to delete that account because they can't verify it if they cannot provide the proof. So that's how you would want to move forward with the credit reporting agencies. Did that help?
Yes. So my last question to that then, okay, so I'm gonna go into the school account and I'm gonna use that, but do I still use the CFPB or do I go directly to TransUnion?
Yep, so you can really do both. What you can do is once you create that dispute letter, and again, and at the top here, because you have disputed with them before, as you can see here, you want to definitely input that you have repeated this attempt. This is multiple times that you have provided proof with the FTC and they're still reporting this information. So I would upload it onto the CFPB and I would also go to TransUnion directly and upload it on both for a quicker outcome. And then
Okay.
on CFPB, let me stop sharing my thing real quick because I can't let y'all see all these information. CFP, let me CFPB. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you should honestly be clicking onto the CFPB when it comes down to like submitting like same information, like disputing like the same account. Let me get back into that account here.
Okay. Would you recommend that I upload the also the letter they sent to my house in the mail saying that verified is accurate as well? Just to have something for them to look at?
That's not required. It's not necessary because they should have exactly what they're doing, like on they should have it on their end. If you
Okay.
wanted, you definitely could, but it's just not required.
Okay.
Okay, so let me start sharing my screen. Share. Okay. So once you get here and you're gonna like dispute again, like something that was verified, we're gonna go to credit reporting. Credit reporting. And then I'm gonna have to kind of like read through these a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so you see how you have options to be able to click what you want to click. Well, if I'm reporting or if I'm like disputing again, this is what I would typically click because I have a problem with the company's investigation into an existing problem. This is an existing problem because this is not the first time that you submitted this dispute. So they need to know that this is an existing problem. And what best describes your problem? So I would say difficult sense okay, so this is where I would click here. Their investigation did not fix an error on your report. Okay, and obviously you would go on with the same yes answers. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes. Did you request information? Yes. And did the company provide this information? No. This is optional. Okay. So
Okay.
that's how I would go ahead and go on the CFPB because not everything is cookie cutter. So every dispute is going to be different. So you definitely want to read through these options that the CFPB has because there's an answer to all of your problems on here.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully I was able to answer your question.
Yeah, no, that was very helpful. So moving forward, yeah, I'll just re-go through the CFPB using the US code letter that you put inside the school account. And then do I send a letter in the mail directly to TransUnion as well? Or is there like an email version that I send to TransUnion?
So when you're uploading it to the CFPB, that's what you're like, that's how they're electronically getting it. So if you wanted to mail it, again, that's a personal preference. You don't have to because you get
Okay.
notification when that credit bureau, once you get that second email from the CFPB saying like, like they received your response, that's when I would
Right.
pick up that phone call. I mean, do that phone call and follow up with them and ask them, hey, listen, like this is the client or the complaint number. I would have the complaint number right there in front of me and the date that they received it. If they literally said that they don't have it, they don't see anything, I would hang up and call again. I would probably do that a good 5 to 8 times, to be honest, within a day. When I used to do that for myself, I was annoying, but I would do that every day until they
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Thank you. No, that was very helpful. I'll use that strategy and I'll keep you updated to let you know how it turned out.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, guys, those are good questions for tonight's call. I appreciate everyone that was able to join. Again, make sure that you guys, I'm pretty sure I put the link in here. If you ever feel like you're stuck, you cannot do the credit repair process yourself at any point. The link for the free credit analysis for done for you credit repair services is in the chat. As of right now, within the school community, the members, they get, I know I posted it was a $250 discount. But it's actually gonna be $350 discount, guys. That's probably the biggest sale and discount I've ever done. So you might want to take advantage, letting y'all know right now. Y'all hear it. But I appreciate you guys. And again, keep getting at those disputes. And if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to post them within school, or you can message me directly on the school as well. But if anyone doesn't have any more questions, I think we're out of here. Bye, everyone.